Remember to stay hydrated, and as a matter of fact, a lot of you guys have been wondering why I say stay hydrated at the beginning of some of my videos. That actually gave me an idea to run a competition. The first person to tell me why and when I first said stay hydrated will win this Civivi Lumi. This is just going to be a really friendly competition, so happy hunting. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about a brand new knife from Urban EDC Supply. This is the Micro Shrike, and it might be in competition with the Sebenza 31 from Chris Reeve Knives. I'll go over all of those details and my overall impressions on this knife in this video, so for now, sit back, relax, and let's get it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Minimalist. My name is Brandon, and today we're going to be checking out the brand new Micro Shrike from Urban EDC Supply. This is going to be a quick, informative video just letting you know what this thing is all about, what I like about it, what I dislike about it, and then comparing it to the renowned Chris Reeve Sebenza. But let's go ahead and dive right into it and give you guys some details. This knife is going to be going for about $279 if you pre-order it, and then if you buy it when they're in stock, they're going to be going for about $300. If you're interested in pre-ordering this specific knife, I'll be leaving a link in the description below so you guys can go ahead and hit that up. So the Micro Shrike is going to come in 3 different variants. You've got the full stonewash titanium, which this is the one that I've got. You've also got an OD green micarta and a black micarta. They're all going to be at the same exact price, and in my opinion, the titanium looks amazing. Of course, the titanium one is going to be a little bit heavier, coming in at about 2.9 ounces, whereas the micarta versions are coming in at about 2.6 ounces. It's honestly not too bad, and I do like the more robust feel that the titanium gives you. In terms of the blade, you do have M390 blade steel, which is really good at this price point. On this version, you've got the titanium up front, and then as well as a titanium frame lock with a lock bar insert. It also has a titanium backspacer and a milled titanium pocket clip. This thing is just titaniumed out, and I absolutely adore it. Let's give you guys a quick size comparison. Here it is next to a full-size bug out, and then here it is next to a mini bug out. So in terms of overall length, the mini bug out is actually still longer than the Micro Shrike. It's got a 2.6 inch total length blade, which is not too bad. I know that's going to be kind of small, so if you do have like XL or double X hands, this might not be the knife for you. In terms of my hands, I've got XL hands, and I'm able to fit all of my fingers around the knife no problem, and ergonomics are pretty decent. You've got some jimping here on top of the blade spine, which feels very familiar to the Chris Reeve Sebenza. It has that ramp where that jimping is on the Sebenza as well, so we'll get into that in just a second. And then in terms of the pivot, this thing is operating off of bearings. You've got 2 means of deployment. You can do a reverse flick on the backside thumb stud, and then of course you can do the thumb flick, and that's where my first gripe kind of sets in with this knife. If they were to just move this thumb stud up a little bit, this would have been a lot easier to access. The problem is you do have to kind of scoot your hand down in order to access the thumb stud from the front side and then be able to deploy it. I'm not a huge fan of where they place the thumb stud, just because when I go to flick it out with my thumb, it feels like it might fly out of my hands, and that's just due to the fact that you have to scoot down on the actual knife scales. But overall, again, ergonomics are fantastic. You can really choke up with this jimping. Now, in terms of draw cuts, this thing is really easy to just put your finger here at the top of the blade and get those really precise cuts. In terms of the bearings that this thing is on, this thing is very smooth. I'll be completely honest with you guys, this has been passed around a few times from like Metal Complex and a few others, and when I first got this in my hands, it was very tight. What I mean by tight is when you go to disengage the lock bar and then let the blade drop, it needed a lot of assistance, and you can feel a lot of grit in there. I'm not sure if that was just because it's a prototype, but I did go through and then adjust the lock bar and added in some KPL. Now this thing is very good in terms of the overall action. Blade centering is on point with this. There is no lock rock or any blade play, so that is a very good sign. Okay, so let's talk about how this thing compares to the Sebenza 31. This is my Sebenza 31 large. I did just sell my 31 small, so there's not a direct comparison. The smaller version would have been a little bit better, but this will do for now. The Chris Reeve Sebenza 31 is really well known for its overall blade shape. This one's the drop point version, and what I like the most about the Sebenza is basically the jimping here at the top of the blade spine. It feels very comfortable in hand, and it just makes it so that you have a little bit more authority in your cuts. Now the Micro Shrike is going to be very similar. It also has a jimping here at the top of the blade spine, and I feel very confident making cuts when there is jimping that is well done. The biggest drawback in terms of this knife versus a Sebenza is going to be how thick it is. That's the only thing that I don't really like, and then as well as the thumb stud placement. The Sebenza is going to be more so on phosphor bronze washers, whereas the Micro Shrike is on bearings. So if you're someone that is into fidgeting and enjoys the action of a knife, you might actually like and enjoy the Micro Shrike more than the Sebenza, because this thing is not really made for fidgeting. So what's the conclusion on this knife? Who is it for? I believe this is going to be really good for someone that has anywhere between like an XL and smaller hand size. If you're looking for an absolute minimalist type of knife, this thing has like literally no branding. The only branding is literally on the inside scale where Urban EDC Supply usually hides their logo. And if you like the Sebenza, then you'll love this knife because it is kind of like the poor man's Sebenza in my opinion. The aesthetics of this knife is fantastic, and I can recommend it to any one of you guys. Again, if you guys are wanting to purchase this knife, then just go use the link in the description below. That is an affiliate link, so if you want to help support the channel, it doesn't cost you anything extra. But yeah, there's my thoughts on the Urban EDC Supply Micro Shrike. Thank you so much to my Patreon members as well as return viewers. This channel would not be a thing without you guys. Aside from that, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.